pyramid with a tunnel. So yep, each side 5 inches wide. Okay, those are the dimensions. I'm just going to create another part studio. And let's title it Pyramid with Tunnel. That is how to spell tunnel, right? I am not good with spelling. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. Puzzle. Okay. I'm going to select the top plane again so we can get a sketch plane. And I'm going to start off with the base of the pyramid, which is 5 inches wide. Dimensioning these to 5 inches. And then, now, in our last puzzle, we just extruded straight upwards. But here we want to create a pyramid. So we can drag this up however high we want it to be. It doesn't really matter for this. We're going to want to click this little option here that says draft. And there's a few ways you could actually create this pyramid. You could create each face, you could extrude 4 triangles and then combine them into one part. But this is probably the simplest and quickest way to do it. So draft, and then we can click which direction we want the draft. And because it's a regular square pyramid, this will be 45 degrees. And the height doesn't matter anymore because it's just going to meet at that point. Since it's taller, then we just want the height to be taller than the height of the pyramid. So it will connect together at a point. And that's our pyramid. Now, the tunnel is 0.25 inches wide and 0.375 inches tall. And there's a circular section on the top of the tunnel. Okay. So for that, I'm going to do an extrude. And instead of extrude add, I'm going to extrude remove so I can make it a tunnel. And I will actually use the front sketch plane since this pyramid, we drew it so that it's centered in the center. Center point rectangle, and the center point's going to be a bit above the origin with the base on the origin, so we have this nice snap point. Tunnel is 0.25 inches wide, so it doesn't matter which dimension you type in first, but you can change between them just by going over it with your cursor, or hit escape, and then you can dimension it later, which I just did, so I guess I'll have to do it this way now. This will be 0.25. And the tunnel is 0.375 inches tall. Now, before we enter the dimension for that, I'm going to create this circle. I could also do it as an arc, a 3-point arc. I'll do it that way, just to show how it's done. What other arcs do we have? I could do a center point arc. I'll just do 3-point. We know 2 of the points are going to be right here. And then our third point is going to be on here, so it's tangent to the other sides. Or another way to do this, I like showing multiple ways to do this, is just click these sides and then go to make them tangent, or hit T for the shortcut. And either way, that does it. Now, we just make this whole part, oh, whoops, what did I do? What was it? 0.375. That's 275. And that's our tunnel. And now that it's black, we can't like move it around. There's nothing that, before we did this, it didn't know how tall it wanted it to be, so you could stretch it up and down. But now that we've, oh, did I mess it up? No, there we go. That's the tunnel. And I want to select this so I can extrude. But this pyramid's in the way, so I'm going to go to part 1 and just hide it for a second so I can get easier access to this. Now that it's selected, I can bring it back and we'll do extrude. And instead of add, we'll do remove so we create a tunnel. And we could drag out how much we want to do, extrude it, but the best thing, the best way to do this, the best practice is to do through all. So that if we change the side of the pyramid, like if I made it bigger afterwards, it might not extrude all the way through if I had done it only a certain amount. Through all will make it sure that it goes through the whole part, no matter how big you change the side of the pyramid. So you notice it's only going out of one side. And we could do 2 extrudes, one this way and one this way. Or we could mirror the extrude we just did, but the quickest way to do it is just click this button that says symmetric, and it will go in the other direction too. And that is our pyramid with a tunnel. Now there's an extra challenge for this. Extend the tunnel outside of the pyramid roof of roof that is 0.1 inches thick. So there's a few ways that we could go about doing this. I'm going to go back to my sketch 2. I'll show a few ways to do this. This is probably the quickest way. And I will, where is it? My screen is shortened, so offset. And we'll keep the base of the tunnel the same height. And we can click enter and offset 0.1. And then just so we have a full shape, connect the bottom sides. Why is this blue? Okay, because I didn't, if I constrain this so it's horizontal, then there we go. Oh, horizontal to this point. Okay. So, then we could extrude that. Oh, no. And symmetric, but how far out do we want it? That depends. We don't want it to go on for infinity. 15 inches? Okay. Let's see how that looks. Like that. Now, if we wanted this to be a separate part, we could keep it like that. Or, here you notice it's kind of merging with this part, since the two parts are overlapping. We can go to Add, and that will do this all for us, so there will be no overlapping. Or, we could keep these two separate parts and make a Boolean and connect them. But that's a little more advanced. So, for now, we'll just go to Add, and ta-da, tunnel. It's like a train going through a mountain. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Another way to do it, that's probably the quickest way, but I'll show one more, I guess, is creating another plane way out here. So let's offset it from the front plane. And then we can draw the tunnel. I'll make sketch 2 visible so we can use the use tool. And here we had already drawn the outline of the tunnel. But if I hadn't done that, I could just click this part of the tunnel and then done the offset once we used the use tool, which brings the parts from like another sketch or another part up onto the plane so you can reference them. Then we could just do... whoops, I need to do that. I can extrude it. And I could just go all the way through and do an add. The other thing I could do is I could go up to face and then click the face of the pyramid. So it only goes up to like this part. And then if I wanted it on the other side, the same amount, I could just do mirror. Feature mirror, because we're mirroring the feature we just did. Click the front plane, and the feature would be the extrude. But that's the complicated way to do it, just to show that you could theoretically do it that way. But yeah, that's the pyramid with the little tunnel bonus challenge.